She has told this story about who she is. And this story is told in empty halls. Hey y'all, so I'm calling this video the saddest song about feminism ever written. But that's just one of the ways of looking at this thing. What this song is a magnificent work of art. So I'm going to do two videos interacting with the song King by Florence of Florence and the Machine. So for this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the lyrics as if it were a poem, interact with a quote of hers in a very short little article about the song, and then bring in a little G.K. Chesterton. I absolutely love the honesty of this song. So as I said, let's go ahead and read this as if it were a poem. King. We argue in the kitchen about whether to have children, about the world ending and the scale of my ambition, and how much is art really worth. The very thing you're best at is the thing that hurts the most, but you need your rotten heart, your dazzling pain like diamond rings. You need to go to war to find material to sing. I am no mother. I am no bride. I am king. I need my golden crown of sorrow, my bloody sword to swing, my empty halls to echo with grand self-mythology. I am no mother. I am no bride. I am king. I am no mother. I am no bride. I am king. But a woman is a changeling, always shifting shape, and when you think you have it figured out, something new begins to take. What strange claws are these scratching at my skin? I never knew my killer would be coming from within. I am no mother. I am no bride. I am king. I am no brother, no mother. I am no bride. I am king. I need my golden crown of sorrow, my bloody sword to swing. I need my empty halls to echo with grand self-mythology, 'cause I am no mother, I am no bride, I am king. And I was never as good as I always thought I was, but I knew how to dress it up. I was never satisfied, it never let me go, just dragged me by my hair and back on with the show. Just some really excellent imagery there, particularly with the clothes, but a couple of things I want to address about the lyrics. And so when she says she is no mother, no bride, she is king, and obviously choosing the masculine title on purpose, right? With a queen, there may be some ambivalence. Is the queen really in charge? But when you say king, it has a little bit of the same effect that that old Iron and Wine song, Woman King, has. So she is no mother, she is no bride, she is king. And right, so the song starts off, the poem starts off, and we argue in the kitchen. In the kitchen. So every word here is well thought out. They're not just arguing, they're in the kitchen. The place, the locus of femininity, perhaps, in the house. That's where we argue about whether to have children. So it's not just her that's having this crisis. This crisis is because of a relationship that she has. And this relationship and these questions have cosmic significance. They argue not only about whether to have children, but about the world ending and the scale of her ambition. She is a god. She is a king. And then that first verse has these lines that she's the one talking. And then suddenly she says, the very thing you are best at is the thing that hurts the most. But you need your rotten heart, your dazzling pain like diamond rings. You need to go to war to find material to sing. And I think really what's happening there is that she is being told this, right? We argue in the kitchen, And this is what she hears, that she needs to go to war to find material to sing. And I think later when we look at in another video, when we look at the music video, that interpretation will be borne out. But regardless, she immediately follows that up in the next verse with her describing herself. I need my golden crown of sorrow and my bloody sword to swing. And then how powerful, my empty halls to echo with grand self-mythology. So she is a god, she is a king. She has told this story about who she is. And this story is told in empty halls. And then she addresses the nature of being a woman and says that a woman is a changeling, always shifting shape. And just when you think you have it figured out, something new begins to take. And I think this crisis is increased, this feeling of being a changeling, by the crisis that she's facing, right? This question of whether to have children. And really, it's not really even a question anymore. It seems to be a foregone conclusion that she has, in fact, sacrificed her children and potential children on the altar of artistic success. And so then she asks, what are these strange claws scratching at my skin? I never knew my killer would be coming from within. So the last verse has just such an amazing moment. I was never as good as I always thought I was. Okay, I mean, that is a human moment, right? Something that we all have to confront. Well, most of us have to confront, right? Never as good as I thought I was, but I knew how to dress it up. But, one of the things that reveals about, there is a game to be played to be a successful woman, if you will, right? In the world, the way success is judged, I would argue it's judged along masculine categories. So you have to dress it up in a certain way. And really, I think modern success, all of us have to dress it up, because even men suffer from how success is judged. For neither women nor men do their lives revolve around their households. And I think that's where human satisfaction is to be found. Obviously, it looks different for men and women, but neither men nor women revolve around their household anymore. And so there's great dissatisfaction, and particularly with how success is judged. She said she was never satisfied. It never let me go. Just dragged me by my hair and back on with the show. What a close. Why? Because the caveman who conquers her, right? She still ends up being a woman submitted. But instead of being submitted to a family life, to her womb, to children, to her man, she is submitted to art, to artistic success. It takes her by the hair and takes her away. So powerful. So, there are a couple of, that puts me in mind of the Chesterton quote I want to bring up. But before I do that, a quote from Florence Welch that was put up on Alt Press. So she says, regarding the single King, as an artist, I never actually thought about my gender that much. I just got on with it. I was as good as the men, and I just went out there and matched them every time. But now, thinking about being a woman in my 30s and the future, I suddenly feel this tearing. That's where the claw imagery came in, right? I feel this tearing of my identity and my desires. That's probably the saddest part of the song. She does have a desire for these things that she sacrificed. That to be a performer, but also to want a family, might not be as simple for me as it is for my male counterparts. I had modeled myself almost exclusively on male performers, and for the first time I felt a wall come down between me and my idols as I have to make decisions. They did not. Speaking of modeling herself on male performers, she really puts me in mind of Nick Cave. But it's fascinating to me how clear-eyed and objective she is about this, right? There's no condemnation in this quote. She simply says that it might not be as simple for me as it is for my male counterparts. I have to make decisions. They did not. And that's right. And that's one of the things that's at the core of feminism, is the rejection of nature in order to make the sacrifices seem okay. Right? So our bodies are made to do certain things for all humans. Here she is simply acknowledging, I have to make decisions that they did not. This is the sort of objectivity that I admire in people like Camille Paglia. All right, so this is only like a little 2-paragraph post on AltPress. One paragraph is this quote, but here is the previous paragraph from AltPress. The music video was directed by Autumn de Wilde, and as I said, we'll be looking at the music video. It features vocalist Florence Welch as a sorcerer who literally and figuratively floats above it all. She's the only source of color in the visual, her fiery red hair peeking out under its silky purple robe. King itself challenges the expectations of womanhood, family, and femininity. Welch sings, I am no mother, I am no bride, I am king, as she snaps a person's neck with her hands. What a disingenuous interpretation and paragraph. She doesn't snap a person's neck with her hands. She snaps a man's neck with her hands. And really, I think that the key element of these words is melancholy, is mistakenness, right? It's confronting that there has been real loss, that there is real emptiness. And this paragraph, which is just totally NPC, simply puts it out there as it challenges the expectations of womanhood, family, and femininity. I think it actually reverses what Florence Welch intended to do. And of course, this is my video and this is my interpretation. But that, when I read that, it seems to me that Florence Welch's lyrics are chock full of regret. And it's not simply an acknowledgement that it cost me a lot to get where I am, and it was worth it. She's questioning that very thing. Has it truly been worth it? So here's the G.K. Chesterton quote. And this quote often gets put out there as, as being about feminism directly. I think it is, ultimately, but directly. And in fact, on social media, because it gets shared a lot, people actually straight up change the words to make it about feminism. This is from an essay of Chesterton's called Social Reform versus Birth Control. And he's speaking about birth control, right? About having babies and about family life. And this song is about having babies, so highly relevant. So birth control, in brackets, birth control is mixed up with a muddled idea that women are free when they serve their employers, but slaves when they help their husbands. That's what's always quoted, but here's what comes right after, and it's very powerful, but here's what comes right after. It is ignorant of the very existence of real households where prudence comes by free will and agreement. So, the feminist story that we should all, they would never put it this way, but we should measure success, all of us, as if we were men, and in particular, a certain type of man, modern man, the modern man is divorced from his family, and this is what women are going to want for themselves as well. So when I read that last line with the caveman sort of imagery, right? Art and artistic success, take her by the hair, right? It reminded me of this idea. Women are free when they serve their employers, but slaves when they help their husbands. Really, we all need to reorient how we judge success and how we shape our lives. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll also tune in to my interaction with the music video. The peace of Christ be upon you.
Our educational system, and indeed our society as a whole, was destroyed in the 19th century by the German influence.
Really?
Ability as a concept turned into a mechanical, empirical construct. You may be a beneficiary of this system.